Right, let's get back in it. Morning boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. What's the time? 4:30 Tuesday morning. What better way to fill your time than posting a video up on YouTube? My name's Ron, this is Ron's 12 inches. If it's the first time you've looked at the site or whatever the channel, wondering what it's all about, well, it's all about your music. It's all about your 12 inch, your 7 inch, your 10 inch, your CDs. I've got a little bit of CD down there, look, it's a compilation. Right, let's bung these over here, let's see what we're going to talk about this morning. What we've been spinning, I'll tell you what we've been spinning. I've been spinning a bit of this Big Country, Stuart Adamson on the lead vocals. Came out of a band called the Skids, and there was a punk band in the 1970s, late 70s, and if you ever want to get yourself on a nice punk album, have a listen to that. It's called Scared to Dance, it's by the Skids. That came out a little while ago, about 2017, that's on a picture disc. I bought that as well. So that's what I've been spinning about. I've also been actually turning a bit of Spandau Ballet out. I didn't realise they sort of like reimagined their greatest hits and I've done a retake on them, and it's pretty good as it goes. I like Spandau Ballet. You know what I mean? A bit of a I don't know, teeny bopper in them days. It was my sort of time when I was about mid-20s, so yeah, that was my type of band. But the band I'm going to talk about now is a band that was formed in 2004. And they're called You, Me at 6, and that's the album I'm going to talk about. It's called Sinners Never Sleep, right? So who are the band? Well, the band is Josh Franceschi. He's on the vocals. They've got 7 albums out. Let's put it this way: they've got 7 albums out. The album I'm going to talk about is this album here. It came out in 2011, went number 3 in the charts. So it's Josh Franceschi on the vocal, Max Heller and Chris Miller on the guitar. On the bass is Matt Barnes, and on the drums is Dan Flynn. Now, Dan Flynn on drums is none of these fancy fills all round and nicking around a kit at 200 miles an hour. He's one of these people that drops the bass drum on an off beat. When you mean an off beat, it's not on the 1 or the E. It's on the and the R. You know what I mean? If you know what a drum beat is, it's 1 E and and he drops it in like he plays you know what I mean? His eye, and it goes. It's all, you know what I mean? It's all off beat really, and it works. Seriously, it works on this album. It works. They released their first 2 albums. This is the 3rd album. Their first 2 albums were a bit heavier. They was more like pop punk. They then sort of like done a 3rd album, which is the one I'm going to talk about, and they went sort of like alternative, not alternative pop, like indie pop, indie rock. That's the word I'm looking for. It's not as heavier as it was the first 2 albums. The first 2 albums were quite heavy. It's quite a successful band really. They came out of Weybridge in Surrey, and they released 7 albums. Right, so that album, believe it or not, is not on the LP. It's not on an album. It's not on the vinyl. I've got a bit of vinyl here. Look, this is the recent album. That's the last bit of actual new vinyl. You know what I mean? It's been released now. I have bought a bit of vinyl that's like old vinyl, but that's the last bit of vinyl I bought. Is Sucker Punch by the band. That's a bit of signed copy there. I've got a nice little copy. That's the 6th album. Comes yellow vinyl there, and it comes with a 7-inch bonus disc. Now if you look, and that's 636 of 750, so there's only 750 units of that. And if you're ever you're into like music and your artist, your bands or whatever, always like if someone gives you an heads up, or like one of your favourite artists is going to release a band and you want to buy the physical formats of it, always go and check them out on their forums or their website, their web pages, you know, on their websites, because you'll always get a nice like exclusive or a signed copy or a bonus disc or something like that. Here's another look. That's the 5th album, You and Me at 6. It's called Night People. It's a nice little blue and white splatter album. Look at that. That is beautiful, isn't it? That is absolutely beautiful. Goes in the inner protective sleeve there. Like I say, I always keep these in the inner protective sleeves. And sometimes I slide them down the back of the actual album, because I don't really want to be sitting inside the album, because you get a bit of ring wear on there when it presses up against things. You get marks in the side where it sticks, starts pressing up. So I try to keep them out of there. Right, I've got a big country album on there. It's a nice bit of kit. This is an RP10, Riga RP10. The stylus is about £1,000 a go. You can have it re-tipped for about a monkey. So I tend to buy me physical format, like the vinyl. And I will spin it a few times, don't get me wrong, because I do love me vinyl. I think it's the best type of music, like format you can listen to. But I've also got a top Roxanne player down, a Caspian Mark II CD player. And I don't mind the CDs. My CDs sound brilliant on there, and they're a bit more durable, a CD, you know what I mean? They're a lot cheaper. So, but I also download a lot of my stuff off a site called mp3va.com. It's a cheap place to go and get some download music for 8-10 pence. You can get an album for about 80 pence to a pound. And it's a cheap one. I always put it on my iPods, and I've always got my iPods, and I've got a little jack lead here, and I'll stick that on and play it through the speakers. So I've always got some sort of format to listen to. My first, you know what I mean, obviously my favourite thing is the vinyl, because that's what, you know what I mean, all my setups basically on the vinyl. But I bought the CD player to save the stylus, because a stylus of that calibre, you get about 2,000 hours. You may get a bit more. It all depends what type of music you're playing on it. If you start ripping like old stuff that's got like dirt in it and all that, and it's a bit, you'll end up ripping through a stylus in next to no time. Anyway, right, so this album came out in 2011. Now, it's not as heavy as the first album. It's got a little bit of heaviness to it, you know what I mean? It ain't all about this album's got a bit of everything, you know what I mean? It's got what they did on this album, they started putting some strings and some piano and the horns on this, so excuse me, there's a bit of variation on it. There's some great guitar riffs on this, seriously, there is some seriously great guitar riffs on this. These are sort of like being compared to where they've got a lot of slow burners on this, so it's like, when I have slow burners, like slow building records, so it starts off nice steady like guitar riff, nothing heavy. They're not. They've got a little bit of metal about them, but not too much. You know what I mean? It's not over the top and the music's not overpowering. You know what I mean? Don't drown the song out. Where sometimes you get a band and they drown the song out with the music. You can't hear the lyrics. You can't hear the bloke singing because he's being like absolutely submerged in all the guitars, because people are trying to play too over the top and trying to play as loud as they like. And I don't like all that. You get that with metal. They just go a little bit too far. Right, so let's have a quick run through the album. So there's 12 tracks on this album. Like I say, it's never been released on an LP, on vinyl, on that format, which I'm hoping it may do. They may see sense and put it out, because I don't understand it. Right, so they went over to LA, California to release, to produce this, and it all went a bit Pete Tong over there, because Franceschi got, he had a bit of a meltdown over there, because he was worried about the album might bomb and things like that. And he ended up having panic attacks, and it took forever to get the album out. They got a bit of help on there with a couple of really heavy, like, you know, like these grunge singers. They go like that, like roaring at the back of the like on some of the tracks. It's on two of the tracks, on Bite My Tongue and Time Is Money, and they are Winston McCall and Oliver Sykes. They only do, but it doesn't take away from the sound of the song. I think it enhances it, to tell the truth. So although you do get a bit in there, I don't mind it, because if you've like another band that have got a little bit of not rap, but like that sort of thing, is Linkin Park. If you hear a bit of Linkin Park, they've got that sort of music in it. But yeah, anyway, getting back to this album. Right, so the first album, they released about 4 singles off of this. Lover Boy was a single, Bite My Tongue was a single, No One Does It Better is a single, and Reckless is a single. Right, now Lover Boy I'd give a 10. As a single, I think it's fantastic, you know what I mean? I'm gonna stick a couple of tracks on in a minute. Only a little bit. Jaws on the Floor I'd give a 9. Bite My Tongue, which is another single, I'd give a 10. This is the 4th song off the album. And this is the first thing. Now, to me, I think this should have been a single. I think this is just, listen to this is just like an anthem. What a song, seriously. You know what I mean? I'm not joking. It gives me goosebumps. You've got to have that loud. Have that loud, that song, seriously. And you will be in, you'll be in another dimension. It just brings another dimension to your music, seriously. It's just absolutely fantastic. Like I say, it's just got a slow build to it, but when it kicks in, it sort of kicks in and stops. It's brilliant. It's just absolutely fantastic. Right, that's that song. Like I say, they could release it. Oh, wait. They could release this as a double album and put 3 tracks on each side of it. 12, right. So then you got Little Death. I think that's probably one of the weaker tracks on the album. I'll still give it an 8.5. Then you got Crash, which is this song here that I'm just going to play now. Look, how's that guitar riff, people? Seriously, how's that guitar? Look. That is just absolutely different gravy. Seriously, I love it. I can't get enough. I love these sort of songs. You know what I mean? Some people they do a slow burner and they don't know how to get to the top. They seem to go up the hill and stall and never get there. But this band just knows how to do it. Seriously, from this album onwards, I like the second. The first album's a bit heavy for me. The second album is a good album, but from then onwards, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th album, the last album's probably gone back to the bit rooty back to the first album. But albums 3, 4, 5, and 6, I think are fantastic. Seriously, this is a great band to get into. If you've never heard of this band, these are a great band to get into. Right. So then after that Crash, it goes Reckless, which was a single. Then it goes Time Is Money. Now Time Is Money's got that bit of like growling in it. Little Bit of Truth, that's a 9, a 10. The Dilemma, and then you've got number 12, track 12, which is this track here. And this is called When We Were Younger. Now this is a 6-minute song, but oh my God, you're not gonna spend a better 6 minutes out of a day listening to this track. This is just absolutely fantastic, and I'm serious. I love this album. This is the best. This has got to come out on vinyl. This comes out on vinyl. I'm going to buy 2 or 3 copies of it. I'm going to save one, stick it in my collection. I'm going to knock one right out on my turntable and play as loud as I can, get all the neighbours up. And this band would be they've done like big stages. They would sit fantastic in Glastonbury and Leeds and Reading festivals. They'd actually knock the socks off there. The crowd would be absolutely ripping right into this group. Seriously, this is just, listen to that. This is just another slow build song. I just love this band, I really do. I think this is just a fantastic. Their last album came out just after Christmas, got number 1. Probably got number 1 because there wasn't a lot about. It's unbelievable as it goes. It's the first band I've ever known. They was number 1. In the next week, they wasn't even in the top 100. I've never known that before in my life. They wasn't even in the top 100. I couldn't believe it. I'm looking through the charts thinking, well, where's the band gone? Where's the album gone? It fell straight out of the charts. I was absolutely gobsmacked. Seriously. I don't usually do, especially singles charts. I hate it. You know what I mean? It's all full of streaming. It's all full of R&B, rap, K-pop and all that. It's just all garbage with me. You know, I couldn't tell you a top 10 single in the last 2 years, I don't think. I'm just not interested in any of that. Probably Little Mix or something like that, but I couldn't tell you the name of Ellie Goulding. I'm into bits of that, but I couldn't tell you the names of the songs. Right, so we got a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, haven't we, with this pandemic on the way out. Looks like Boris has growing his hair like it's grown like this. Oh, Boris's hair, he's going a bit wild, and he's come out with some good news. He's looking like he's going to get us back out into the open, big wide world again in back end of April and May. Well, that means the boot sales are on, boys and girls, and the boot sales is where you get your good bits of you know what I mean. You get your bargains. You've got once those boot sales kick in. You've got to be over there nice and early, get in there first thing. If you're going to collect your vinyl, get in there first thing. Fill your pockets up with lots of money. Do a bit of bartering over there and get yourself a few bargains. You don't want to be paying silly money. If you're going to be buying albums that are released in 2000 and things like that, you're going to be paying teners and 15 quid probably, because they're going to be half done. You just don't get that over boot sales. You know what I mean? Most of the stuff that's over boot sales is older people stuff. Like this, it's going to be 70s and 80s. and you're going to be able to get things for £1 and £2. How bad? Great. Look, I've got an high-end turntable here. I've got to get myself a little low-end turntable, you know what I mean? It's going to sound just as good. I'll get another Riga, I'll get a Planner 3 or something like that. Get one for about 400 quid. And don't get me wrong, I'll go high-end because I used to be able to afford it. I'm like on the floor at the moment, but hopefully things are going to be turning around and I'll be able to, but I'll need another setup really to play me boot sale stuff, because you do find that sometimes you go over there and it comes, you know what I mean, the grade and the quality does drop a little bit. But I've found some fantastic stuff over there, seriously. You're coming over here, come home, it's like buying it brand new out of a shop. It's fantastic. Look, I'm going to say a couple of words for a few of the subscribers. Marcus, love the comments, man. I mean, these do make me chuckle. I've got a lot of time for you. You know what I mean? It's always, all these people that are leaving favourable comments, a big thumbs up. Thanks very much, I really appreciate it. I've had no new subscribers for a few days, possibly a week or so, which don't help. But I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep popping these videos out. If anyone wants me to review something else, don't forget these are only my takes on these videos and these records. Music's the greatest thing that's ever been invented. So get yourself that album, download it, go and buy a little physical copy on your CD. You probably get that for about £3. I think that my missus, I had a copy of that, lost it, can't find it. I've got 3,000 CDs upstairs. It's in there somewhere. I've looked and I can't find it. So my missus bought me that for my birthday, part of my present, and I bought a couple of what do you call it, pre-orders on some albums that are going to be coming out in sort of like March and April. Yeah, so my name's Ron, this has been Ron's 12 Inches. It's been great to talk to you again, like I always love it. I've just got a nice bit of coffee here, so ready to drink that after I shoot off. I'll check out the next video. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, reviewing another album probably, or talking another load of BS like I'm talking now, but I hope you enjoyed it. I love this channel, you know what I mean? I love talking to people, getting my views out there. Hopefully it'll add to your collection. Some of these artists you may not have heard of that band,